Well, hello. It's time for our weekly challenge. And this week we're looking at a story that Jesus told. There was a man who had two sons. The younger son spoke to his father. He said, "Father, give me my share of the family property." So the father divided his property between his two sons. Not long after that, the younger son packed up all that he had. Then he left for a country far away. There he wasted his money on wild living. He spent everything he had. Then the whole country ran out of food, so the son didn't have what he needed. He went to work for someone who lived in that country. That person sent the son to the fields to feed the pigs. The son wanted to fill his stomach with the food the pigs were eating, but no one gave him anything. Then he began to think clearly. He said to himself, "How many of my father's hired servants have more than enough food, but here I am dying from hunger? I'll get up and I'll go back to my father. And I will say to him, 'Father, I've sinned against heaven and I've sinned against you. I'm no longer fit to be called your son. Make me like one of your hired servants.' So he got up and went to his father. While the son was still a long way off, the father saw him. He was filled with tender love for his son, and he ran to him. He threw his arms around him and kissed him. The son said to him, 'Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I'm no longer fit to be called your son.' But the father said to his servants, 'Quick, bring the best robe and put it on him. Put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet. Bring the fattest calf and kill it. Let's have a feast and celebrate. This son of mine was dead, and now he's alive again. He was lost, and now he's found.' So they began to celebrate. The older son was in the field. When he came near the house, he heard music and dancing. So he called one of the servants. He asked him what was going on. 'Your brother has come home,' the servant replied. 'Your father has killed the fattest calf. He's done this because your brother is back safe and sound.' The older brother became angry. He refused to come in. So his father went out to him and begged. But he answered his father, 'Look, all these years I've been working as a slave for you. I've always obeyed your orders. You never gave me even a young goat so I could celebrate with my friends. But this son of yours, who wasted your money, well, now he comes home, and for him you kill the fattest calf?' 'My son,' the father said, 'you are always with me. Everything I have is yours, but we had to celebrate and be glad. This brother of yours was dead, and now he's alive again. He was lost, and now he's found.'" Well, why did Jesus tell this story? To find out, we need to know who he was talking to. And at the beginning of Luke 15, we're told there were sinners gathered around him, and the religious people, the Pharisees, were grumbling that Jesus was spending time with sinners. And so that's why he told them that story. He told them that story to show them what God is like. That God is like the Father in that story, always ready to welcome people home to him who've gone astray. And it's obvious, isn't it? The younger son was lost. He was like the sinners, the tax collectors, who'd clearly run away from God. But the advantage of clearly running away from God is that you know you're lost. The younger son knew that he was lost, and he came back, and the father welcomed him back. He was waiting for him, and he ran to meet him. He welcomed him back. But the older brother was just as lost, and more dangerously lost because he didn't realize it. But you see his attitude to the father. He said to the father, "All these years I've been slaving away from you, keeping your rules. Where's it got me?" He was doing the same thing as the younger son. Both of them were after the father's stuff. The younger son did it by running away. The older son did it by staying at home and keeping all the rules and thinking he was going to earn the stuff. But he didn't love the father. He loved the father's stuff. And so it's a challenge to us as we read this story. Which brother am I like? Am I like the younger brother? And I've run away from God, and the message then is come back to him? Or am I like the older brother, and we're trying to control God in the way we live, and we think we might get him to give us stuff, And we misunderstand that God is so generous and loving, and we fail to rejoice with those who come back to him. So which brother are you like? And remember that we can always come back to God because of Jesus. He'll welcome us back because Jesus has died for us. It's wonderful news. Well, the challenge this week is to fill in the blank. Which something are you? Hopefully you can work out what that is. You fill in the missing word, you spell it out using the first letter of different objects, and send a picture to Dorothy. Once you've worked out what that word is, fill it in with the different pictures. So thank you for joining in this week. Thank you.